is this handsome, dapper chap that we see right here, Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, is he going to save us from the current banking crisis of 2023 that threatens to bring down the global financial system and lead us into the Great Depression 2.0? Let's see. So if we don't know who Warren Buffett is, okay, he's the chairperson of Berkshire Hathaway. You ever heard of Berkshire Hathaway? He's known as the Oracle of Omaha because he's one of the greatest investors of all time. He's one of the few people that has actually beaten the market. Now, a lot of YouTubers think they're the next Warren Buffett, and I can assure you they aren't. But let's talk about what Warren Buffett's up to, because whenever there's a massive crisis in the financial system, a lot of the times people that have a lot of experience in the finance world, very famous investors, they will consult government officials and they will kind of give them their ideas about how they can fix the current situation. It's one big club. Let's see what Warren Buffett's saying. Well, apparently, Buffett has had multiple conversations with senior members of the Biden administration in the past week, citing people familiar with the matter. The two sides have reportedly explored ways in which the Oracle of Omaha, that's Warren Buffett, can invest in the regional banking sector. Buffett, however, hasn't given any broader advice or guidance on the recent turmoil, the report says. Now, why would Warren Buffett want to invest in the regional banking sector? What kind of maniac would buy something like First Republic Bank if the stock has collapsed 82%? And as we just found out, S&P, the rating agency, has slashed it to just below bankruptcy imminent level, okay? It ain't good what's happening with First Republic Bank. And the stock price is getting absolutely annihilated. We can see it's down 18% in the pre-market. And just, a month ago, the stock was trading at $120, and now it's down to $18.87. This is wild, okay? So why would Warren Buffett suddenly want to buy in? Well, let's talk about what Warren Buffett has done before. This man has been known to bail out other banks or save other banks and keep them alive. Because you got to remember, everybody has a stake in the economy. If you're invested, you're participating in the eventual growth of either the sector you're investing in and the global economy as a whole. The global macroeconomy affects your investments. And the last thing you want is to have every single bank collapse, because that would destroy the economy. And your business that you bought for X amount of dollars as a good investment is suddenly going to be worth a lot less as economic activity plunges with the collapse of all these banks. Because banks are the lubricant, as I've heard it called, of the economy. So what has Warren Buffett done before? Well, in 2008, at the peak point of the global financial crisis, the legendary investor, Warren Buffett, invested $5 billion in Goldman Sachs to strengthen the firm's capitalization and liquidity. That saved the company. And guess what? Guess what he did? He made $3.1 billion. He got a profit of $3.1 billion because he bought in when there was blood in the streets, and he gave Goldman Sachs the cash they needed to stay afloat. You got to understand the nature of bank panics. It's all about fear. Fear, 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 fear. Let's look at the balance sheet of First Republic Bank, at least as I've seen as of December 31st, 2022. Now remember, there have been lots of withdrawals, okay? A lot of people are taking money out of this bank. So this information is probably a little outdated, but we can get some clues for other parts of the balance sheet by looking at their debt securities, loans, etc., etc. But this cash balance is probably massively different right now than what it was on December 31st, 2022. Why? Because like I said, number one, people are taking money out hand over fist. They're freaking out. They're withdrawing money. Oh, give me my money. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And number two, $30 billion has been deposited into this bank by a consortium of other large banks in the United States in the hopes of keeping it alive. So if Warren Buffett were to rescue this bank, he could deposit cash. He could give them some kind of credit line, number one. Or he could buy the bank, buy shares of the bank, and that could potentially calm investors. Why would that do that? Well, like I said, let's talk about the nature of bank panics. Banks they have fractional reserves, okay? Most banks do not hold a lot of cash on their balance sheet. As you can see First Republic Bank, as of December 31st, 2022, had $4.2 billion of cash on their balance sheet. How many total deposits did the bank have? $176 billion. $4 billion? $176 billion. So when everybody looks at their bank statements, let's say you were the only depositor in this bank. You would think you had $167 billion of cash sitting in the bank. But if you called First Republic Bank and said, hey, I'm withdrawing my $176 billion right now. I need all my money to, go shopping for handbags. And you want to pull all $176 billion out. Well, guess what? They only got $4 billion in there because the rest of your money has been invested in debt securities, held available for sale, debt securities held to maturity, a little bit of stock, and a lot of loans outstanding, okay? So that's what causes panics because people eventually figure this out and they say, oh crap, somebody told me that they don't have enough cash. And everybody rushes the bank and tries to take out all of the cash and then boom, it collapses. Now, Warren Buffett could potentially avert this crisis because everybody knows who Warren Buffett is. He's the genius. He's the Oracle of Omaha. And if you're a depositor in the bank and you hear that Warren Buffett just bought the bank and he believes in the bank and he trusts the bank, you might potentially not take your money out. Maybe you think that the crisis has been averted. And if that's the case, Warren Buffett and whoever buys in makes an absolute killing massive return. But there's another problem. What if it doesn't happen? What if Warren Buffett doesn't bail out this bank? Well, in that case, this bank could easily go to zero. I've talked about this multiple times. But if you buy in and you get in at a good price, holy smokers. Look at the price to books. 0.25. Or it's probably even lower now with the pre-market. If you buy into this bank and you somehow make money and it somehow recovers, the fortune you could potentially make is pretty crazy. Okay, well, obviously, if you're putting in a speculative bet, you're not going to make a fortune. But you can make a decent sized return off this, okay? So that's kind of my thoughts. Maybe Warren Buffett will bail it out. It's entirely possible. It really is possible. Because nobody wants these banks to fall like dominoes. Nobody wants basically the world to end, okay? So we'll see what happens. Let's see if Warren Buffett saves the day. And I hope to God the global financial system doesn't collapse. And maybe Warren Buffett will be the one that saves us. We'll see. Talk to you later. Cheers!